Hi, I'm Dave Graybill, host of the Fishin Magician Outdoor Show. I drive thousands of miles every year looking for great fishing opportunities here in Central Washington. And I love sharing what I learned with you viewers. You can always go to fishinmagician.com and find out what shows I've got lined up each month. See what adventures are coming next month. Log on to fishinmagician.com. No one is happy about having to repair a vehicle after an accident. However, I was very happy when I chose First Choice Collision Center when I needed this service. I can't say enough about how they treated me. Fast and friendly just doesn't say enough. They have amazing technology to make a damaged vehicle look like new. At First Choice Collision Center, you can expect modern service with old-fashioned values. That was my experience, and I'm sure it will be yours too.
No matter where anglers are heading, whether it's Banks Lake, Lake Roosevelt, or Rufus Woods Reservoir, they all make the same stop. That's at Big Wally's in Coulee City. Here they find everything they need for a successful day on the water: fuel, ice, a tackle shop, and people who know what they're selling behind the counter, state and tribal licenses, even a hot breakfast or lunch. When you're on the go, don't forget to stop at Big Wally's and visit their website at bigwallysfishing.com.
Hooked on toys!
Hordes of anglers head for our area lakes as they open to fishing in the spring, but before they head for their favorite lake, they stop at Hooked on Toys in Wenatchee. Hooked on Toys is the biggest tackle store in eastern Washington, and they have everything an angler could need for a successful day on the water. You'll find the biggest selection at the best prices for all your angling needs. Located at 1444 North Wenatchee Avenue or online at hookedontoys.com.
Hooked on toys!
Honey, you are not gonna believe this. I bought Pepsi Next.
What's Pepsi Next?
It's the new cola from Pepsi. It's got real cola taste, but 60% less sugar.
Real cola taste, 60% less sugar.
Yeah. I know.
It's unbelievable.
But this is the most impressive thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Oh, definitely. Look at the camera. I've never had anything like it. My parents are gonna flip.
Yeah, they're gonna be so proud.
Introducing Pepsi Next. Drink it to believe it.
Are you getting this, honey? It's going viral.
The EVINRUDE E-Tech. It's a dream come true.
For E-Tech engine sales and service and repair of all boats and motors, call Lyle's Boats and Motors in Kashmir, 663-5191.
Hi, I'm Dave Graybill, host of the Fishin Magician Outdoor Show, and this is opening weekend of the Lowland Lake trout season. Every year my wife Eileen and I travel through the region and check on some of the more popular fishing spots, and I can't wait to see how anglers are doing this year during the annual weekend. We're going to travel all the way down through the Columbia Basin up north and wind up in the Chelan area, checking on a variety of lakes, mostly trout lakes for the early season. So come on along and join the fun of watching how anglers are doing on the traditional Lowland Lake trout season opener. One of our first stops every year on our tour of these popular trout lakes here in Central Washington is Blue Lake. Year after year, Blue Lake produces fabulous catches of some of the most beautiful rainbow you'll find it anywhere in Central Washington. This lake also has brown trout in it and triploid rainbow in it, and also tiger trout have been introduced to Blue Lake just to spice the action. This is near limit fishing every year, and families have been coming here for sometimes 25 and 30 years, year after year, to enjoy the fishing at Blue Lake. Now, we also have brown trout in this lake. And did you put any tigers in this one? I'm trying to remember. that's good.
Did a good drifting roll. It's really hard to cut right there.
Rainbows, 210,000.
Use it on the wood, it'll stop it from sliding.
Browns, 100, 5 years.
Okay. And these are fry pointers.
13 inches.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. Embarked out of the same types of fish.
About the same number.
Yeah, and about the same numbers, exactly.
Few sewer triploid and
What was your county of residence?
short of rainbow too. Is it smaller?
Here.
Too small in those?
Park? Might be, yeah.
What? See the angle of my finger? Angle of the knife.
Oh, this?
Do you have a knife?
No.
Really?
This is to get all the scales off.
Excuse me, honey.
43, 42, and
Yeah, I could. I'd be glad. All right, Rich. Sure. Hey, Rich. She wants to hold them up. Look at those. They're huge.
Yeah, you carry them.
get that last one, George? 31. Just put your finger right in.
Those are huge.
Yeah, hold it up. Hold this one up too. It's getting good up now.
Yeah, see.
Finger all the way. There you go.
No, I'll have you stand right here.
Okay, you can go right over here. They're gonna take your picture.
No kidding.
Yeah. Like that's a pretty big fish.
Well, before we left Blue Lake, and I should have mentioned earlier, Blue Lake is just north of Soap Lake here in central Washington. There's a lot of Blue Lakes on the map, but this particular one is where we start our trip this day. And just by chance, what a great opportunity. Who do we run into but Dennis Beach, manager, Region 2 of the Department of Fish and Wildlife, where all of these lakes reside, and also meet Phil Anderson, director of the Department of Fish and Wildlife, happens to be here this particular weekend. What a great opportunity to meet Phil. We've met several years ago when he traveled over to Eastern Washington to meetings at the Pateros area. But Phil's getting an on-the-ground look at how things are going on this.
Fantastic. What a great family outing opportunity. It's just, I don't know where else you can go and see something like this.
You know, that's it. When you mention families,
Yeah.
we've talked to people here. Well, every year when we make our annual swing through the lakes, we meet people that are visiting these lakes for the 25th to the 30th year.
Yeah.
There's 4 generations of the family involved. There's just nothing better as far as I'm
I ran
concerned.
into a gathering of friends and family up on Park Lake here just a little while ago, and this is their 30th year of coming here, and it sounded like it was kind of a annual event. It's really the only time they get together in a year where they bring everybody together, and it's just, there they were having a great time sitting on the shore fishing for trout.
Isn't that just wonderful? That's what life's all about. And, you know, Dennis and Jeff Korth out of that office make sure that these lakes for 30 years have produced excellent results. Now, I know you're not, haven't been working on it that long, but you've been maintaining that. That was before you. But traditionally, thanks to the efforts of these people here, families can come to these lakes and count on a great weekend of fishing with their families. And that's our next stop on our tour is at Park Lake, and it's part of the Sun Lakes chain of lakes just north of Blue Lake. Just behind me is a very large campground resort complex with room for hundreds of anglers, and there's a small state park here nearby as well. Park Lake, just like Blue, is loaded with rainbow trout. It's got brown trout, triploid rainbow, and tiger trout now too. And again, Park Lake annually produces some of the best catch rates for rainbow anywhere in the state. And as we've seen too, just like Blue Lake, They grow them big here. They're 16 and 17 inch carryover rainbow bean taking, and the yearlings are a solid 12.
There you go, good job.
Look at that.
Good job. It's a
Whoa, look at that.
Oh, the line broke.
Oh my goodness.
Good job, Bill Page.
You hooked him.
Good job.
That was close. Wow.
Wow, that was a nice one. Well, here we are at Deep Lake, which is just above Park Lake. This lake is long and narrow, and again, a great place to look for rainbow trout, also some triploid rainbow. And one of the things that a lot of people don't know about Deep Lake is they put 30 to 40,000 kokanee in here every year. So I'm going to be back to Deep Lake probably in June to try out the kokanee fishing. After leaving Deep Lake, we made a quick stop at Perch Lake, just up the valley. Perch is small, but it produces big catches, a nice rainbow every year. Behind me right now is Vic Myers. This has some very nice tiger trout, rainbow trout. It's a small little lake, but I tell you what, it's worth a stop when you're in this area. Well, our next stop is at Jamison Lake. This is one of the most popular lakes in Central Washington. For decades, this has been providing terrific opening day fishing. We've talked to people that have been coming here for 30 years. Plenty of shore access, great boat launches. There's resorts at the top end. You access through Mansfield, and at the bottom end, you can access through Ephrata or Waterville. We always stop at the bottom end of the lake so we can get a piece of the great pie that's available at Jack's Resort. Again, great spot for families, tons of public camping area, lots of shore access. Every year, great trout fishing at Jamison Lake. Well, we're going to wind up our little tour of area lakes today at Wapato Lake. I remember fishing this when I was just a very young boy, and it still produces limits of great looking rainbow trout on opening weekend. Well, this has really been a fun day, seeing all the families over here and enjoying the opening weekend of trout fishing here in Eastern Washington. It was a real treat running into Phil Anderson, Director of Fish and Wildlife, and it's good to see him here taking an interest, and thanks for his continued support of our fisheries here in eastern Washington.
Your town Ford is kicking off the season with the best deals of the year. It's the Built Ford Tough Truck event. Great power and amazing fuel economy means no compromises. And that's what you get in a truck built Ford Tough, like the Ford F-150, with a powerful and efficient EcoBoost engine. The power you want and the economy you need. Or Ford Super Duty, with its amazing 6.7-liter PowerStroke turbo diesel. If you're looking for power, payload, towing economy, your town Ford's got the truck for you. Head to your town Ford in East Wenatchee.
The goal of Battery Systems is to provide the best products combined with the most efficient service at competitive prices. I've found their people live up to this, so don't buy anything without talking to them. You should make their batteries and accessories your choice to power your vehicles and boats. This is Dave Graybill, and I choose Battery Systems to keep me running onshore and on the water. To find a Battery Systems product expert in a location near you, log on to batterysystems.net.
When you're fishing at Banks Lake, Lake Roosevelt, even Rufus Woods, the place to stay is at Coulee Playland in Electric City. They have camping and RV hookups right on the water. There's a launch with fuel and one of the best tackle shops in the area. You can get your state and tribal fishing licenses right there. Coulee Playland has been the friendly place to stay for fishermen for decades, and if you haven't camped there yet, you'll learn why. Call for reservations at 509-633-2657. Be sure to visit their website at CouleePlayland.com.
This is Dave Graybill, the Fishin Magician, and when I fish the Upper Columbia and the Madhow Rivers for steelhead, I stay at the Lake Pateros Inn. I can tie my boat right up out front and be minutes from the action. The famous Miller Hole on the Madhow is less than 2 miles away. The rooms are comfortable and surprisingly affordable, and I'll be making the Lake Pateros Inn my base camp. To learn how to book your room at the Lake Pateros Inn, log on to lakepaterosmotorinn.com or call 866-444-1985.
Boating is something the whole family can enjoy, and it's surprising how affordable a new boat can be from Bob File Boats and Motors. Stop in today and take a look at the largest selection of boats in North Central Washington, including top names, Bayliner and Tahoe. Bob File Boats and Motors can help you find that boat that fits your needs. And whether it's for fishing or just a ride on the water, you can be sure your new boat will provide hours of fun for years to come. Visit the boating experts today. Bob File Boats and Motors on the Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee, the place to buy a boat.
Hi. You know, I drive almost 20,000 miles a year just here in Central Washington. And I do that because I'm looking for the best fishing opportunities throughout the region. I visit many of the well-known and very popular fishing waters in our region, but I also like to explore and find new ones. There's nothing I enjoy more than discovering great new fisheries and sharing them with you, the viewer. Now, I have a lot of tools at my disposal when I do that. I've got a lot of fishing gear along, I've got a great Lund boat, but just as important as those tools are some of them that I'm going to share with you right now. The first one would be a good old Washington State driving map. A lot of times I'm going into areas that I'm very unfamiliar with, and this map will point me in the right direction, give me the best major routes to get me to that destination without wasting a lot of time. Now the next step is having a copy of the Washington Atlas and Gazetteer in my vehicle. I actually own 3 of these and refer to them at home, at my office, and the one that I carry in my vehicle is just about worn out. It's dog-eared and coffee-stained. But what you'll find here is the state broken down into very close regions, and then you'll find a lot more detail on the routes, some of the very unimproved roads you may be traveling on. It also will give you some indication of campgrounds and boat launches at the different lakes throughout our region and the rivers as well. This Gazetteer I've always used and have found it an extremely valuable tool when I'm exploring Central Washington. Another very important thing that I've found to have in my library is this Washington fishing guide that was compiled by a good friend of mine, Terry Rudnick. We worked together years ago at Fishing and Hunting News, and Terry has done an outstanding job of listing lakes, rivers, streams. There's over 1,000 of them listed in this book, and he does a very good job in Central Washington. What you'll find in this book are a lot of details on how to get to whatever lake or river you're looking for, but it also will give you lots of details on facilities in the area. It will also provide you with information about the species available, how to catch them, and the best times of year to fish that particular water. Another thing that you should never leave home without is your fishing regulations. You want to be sure that the lake or stream you're going to visit is actually open to fishing, or if it has any particular special regulations like a selective fishery or a slot limit. You'll find those right here. I even carry a copy of the Colville Tribal non-member sport fishing regulations. If you ever fish any of the many fine waters on the Colville Reservation, you'll need to have one of these along. It's a great reference and guide. So use these tools as much as you use your fishing gear, and you're going to have a lot more successful fishing adventures.